Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Beach. I am the author of the faith-based fairy tale series, The Solstice Chronicles, as well as a brand new series coming out called The Heart of God. The first book in the series is also called The Heart of God, so not to be confusing, but it just worked for this first book and I wanted to keep that name for the rest of the series. So I am super excited about this new series and this new book coming out soon. And last week I shared about the main character Selah Cross, and this week I just wanted to share a little bit more about Dylan Kinkaide. His character is definitely based on some old TV shows I used to watch growing up. One of them was called Scarecrow and Mrs. King, and the other was Remington Steele. And if you don't know anything about either of these series, imagine handsome debonair spy or handsome debonair detective and always solving crimes and doing all this stuff. But one of the reasons I really love their stories is because of the transformation that happened in each of the male characters in each series. And just imagine the most charming, debonair, suave, like spy or detective in the world, and these guys were it, you know? And so I kind of really based Dylan off of these two characters and their transformation from switching from just wild, carefree playboy type characters to falling in love with an unexpected woman and just kind of settling down and for the first time wanting to put down roots and get married and different things. So those things always stood out to me in those series for some reason. And I guess even back then I was finding the beauty in every story. But Dylan has become a very special character to me. As much as their stories were redeemed in those series, Dylan's is redeemed even more because it's more of a faith journey for him. It's not just him finding out that he suddenly has feelings for this woman that he would have never expected to have feelings for. It's so much more than that. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful story that God has written for him through me. And I just love it so much. You find out early on in the story that Dylan is not a believer. And so that has been kind of a twist for me, just kind of trying to flesh out a non-believing character and non-Christian character and have that kind of dichotomy with Selah Cross, who, like I said last week, has grown up in a Christian home, has always read the Bible, and has always memorized scripture. And then you have Dylan, who has had some very horrible circumstances happen to him as a child that kind of influenced his life and how he viewed God. And he grew up just viewing God as the God who abandoned him and was never there for him. And so he can never bring himself to believe in a God like that. And it's heartbreaking to see something like that, but we see stuff like that all the time in our world. Things we do as Christians, things we do in the church, turn people off. They turn people away. We can be viewed as very judging and condemning instead of loving people as we should. And no, we shouldn't love people for their sin, but we should love the sinner and not the sin. And that's what Jesus did. He didn't accept us where we were at. He loved us enough to die for us so that we could regain that relationship with God. And it is just such a beautiful dichotomy, like I said, between Selah and Dylan, and seeing her faith influence his non-faith. And he comes to this point throughout the story where he just sees her continuing to believe in God through all these hard and difficult circumstances that nobody should ever have to face. And it is her strong faith in God that makes him start to question his non-belief. And as Christians, that's what we should be doing. We should be witnessing to others. We should be sharing our faith. And no, we don't always have to shove the Bible down people's throats. That's never going to be work as an effective method to reach people for God. So just living our lives as strong Christians, and even though our lives can get messy, our lives can get difficult, we can face hard situations where our faith is questioned and our doubts arise in God. But when we stand tall amidst those circumstances and still turn to God, just like Daniel did, just like Joseph did in the Bible, you know, like these people had horrible circumstances happen to them too, but it was their faith and continued turning to God that set them apart from everyone else around them and set them up in high places, in the places where they were held captive or held prisoner. And so it's just so encouraging to kind of see. And even though Selah is not trying to just win him to God, she's just trying to live through this circumstance in her faith and try to figure out where her faith truly lies in everything that's happened. But just seeing how her faith in God kind of pulls Dylan to God it's just kind of a really beautiful story, and I'm so excited to share it with everyone. And like I said, I've been so excited for this series for a long time. So I just wanted to share a little bit about Dylan and share a little bit about his story and the background behind him and why I chose certain things. And you will definitely see just the paradox between Selah when she is trying to figure out what's right with her righteous moral line that she's been raised with, and how Dylan views things totally different because he was raised totally different. He doesn't have the same views. And so it's just kind of a really beautiful story, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. Like I said, this is releasing very soon. I'm hoping by the end of July, early August. So keep checking back. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. My handle is Beauty Restored 18. You can also check out my website. I have tons of devotional blogs on there that kind of talk about my stories, talk about my characters, and kind of delve into the deeper Christ stories of those choices I've made or different stories I've based things off of. So really encouraging stuff there, but also everything about my books. You can find all my books on there and all the information and upcoming release dates on that. So check it out, beautyrestored.org. I also have a just devotional blog that I would love you to check out too, theatergirl18 at WordPress. So find me, follow me, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm so excited to continue to share this series with you. So check back next week. I'm going to be sharing more about some of the more characters in the books. So see you soon. Have a good day.